Why most bankruptcy attorneys burn out and others don't. I'm here with Eron Epstein, Chattanooga bankruptcy attorney. Eron, how you doing?
I'm absolutely fabulous, Philip. Just having you to talk to is making my day.
Thank you, Eron. Appreciate the time. And you know, the debtor world, the debtor bar, it's hard. It's hard because there's so many the lead flows are super, super high. You're constantly talking to people. You're talking to people who are exhausted. You're talking to people who are down. They're like frustrated, and it's just a hard conversation. And the level of burnout that happens in the debtor bar is very unique, and I've seen it, right? People start, they're out. And you've been doing this for 45 years. You've been through this. You have this very, very unique practice in a group of counties in northern Georgia, northern Alabama, and Tennessee. And I want to talk about how to avoid burnout, speaking to debtor attorneys, right? What you've done to make it, the last 45 years and just like, a rock star in the industry.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
It's a great question because I hear so many people who say, I'm just burned out. I
Yeah.
just can't even get up. I get up every morning and I'm like, what would I do if I didn't have this wonderful place to go to, have great employees? And one thing I do remember when in the earlier years, I would leave the office and I wouldn't, work nights, maybe some Sundays every once in a while. But I would get home and my wife would be at dinner and the kids would be sitting there and she'd say, well, what'd you do? Of course, she's a lawyer, get cross-examined. What'd you do? I was like a teenager going, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you leave it at the office.
Yeah.
It's going to be there in the morning. If you can do that, and that may have been my superpower if there's anything like that, I was able to leave it at the office, not bring it home, not bore my kids with, stories of my clients, although every once in a while I would. But yeah, if you can leave it at the office and then make sure that you really love what you're doing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing. The tragedy for most people, I suspect, is that they don't really, really enjoy what their
Yeah.
practice is, whether it's PI or
Mm.
estate planning, whatever it is. If you, the old story about if you love your job, you never have to work a day in your life. Well, there's a lot of truth in there.
Yeah.
So I've been very blessed to stay healthy, have, great people working with me.
Mhm.
I've been pretty good, but not great at delegating duties that if I'm holding a piece of paper, I'm thinking, oh, well, who should be holding this paper besides me?
Yeah.
You can get things off of
Off
your
your
desk. That's probably critical to avoiding burnout.
So let me unpack those first three. Number one is leave it at the office because that's interesting because I when we get busy, it's natural to say, okay, let me take this home. Let me take this home. And it impacts the relationships at home. You're thinking about it more. But there was a clear delineation with you. What's in the office is in the office, what's gone, what's out of the office is out. Is that fair to say?
Exactly right.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Number two,
If you love what you're doing,
yeah.
not a job, basically.
Number two, if you love what you're doing, it's not a job, right? And the one thing about debtor attorneys, like they're not going into the debtor world for like billions of dollars, right? Like for the most part, the people in the debtor world, which is part of what I love about this industry, they do care. They're in the industry because they care, right? So if you love helping people, it is a natural fit. And also I would imagine, and tell me if you agree with this, it's not about focusing about filing, it's focus on like serving. You're serving these clients, you're giving them lifelines.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about a transformative experience for a client. Bankruptcy is always there. Like if they look back, where was this breakthrough you had? A lot of people will reference bankruptcy. It was a relief.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, I just recently emailed our database asking for people that could tell their bankruptcy story. I got multiple email backs, very inspiring emails. Oh my gosh, bankruptcy, the best thing I ever did. Right.
Philip,
So,
I live in a small town, so I see people out and they literally will stop me on the street and remind me that I was their attorney and that their lives were transformed. They tell me what they were able to buy a house, they're
Yeah.
everything's been great once they made that hard choice.
Yeah.
So imagine that bankruptcy was a solution. It wasn't a problem.
It really is. And if you keep focusing on that, right? If you keep
Yeah.
focusing on that.
Take as much vacation as you can. I aspired to more than I took, but I did a pretty good job, especially when the kids were young. And
Okay.
so I
So
feel,
like what, like how many, like, is that 2 weeks a year, 3 weeks a year, 1 week a year? Like, what does that look like?
when I was with the kids, we had about 9 or 10 weeks, which is pretty
Nine,
insane.
nine or 10 weeks of wait, 9 or 10 weeks of vacation a year when you have young.
Well, I tried,
Yeah.
that I aspired. Maybe sometimes it was 6 or 7, but you're good at that too. It's a family thing, and they're only small once. They grow up fast, so don't squander those years, especially if you're just starting out.
No, no, this is really important to hear because people don't think like this. They think, oh my God, I'm busy. I can't go. So let's talk about that. 6 weeks of vacation a year. So like every 2 months, you're taking a week vacation?
Well, no, I mean now I don't. I don't work every other Thursday, so I take
Okay.
2 days. But I always take at least one long
Okay.
3 or 4 day weekend every every 6 weeks,
Hmm.
4 weeks.
Hmm.
Here's the mindset you've got to get to avoid burnout.
Yeah.
Don't say to yourself, I can't afford to take this vacation. I can't afford to be out of the office. You can't afford not to.
Yeah.
You can't afford not to take it. I'm just saying it's a long game.
It's a
Stay.
it's a it's a long game. You come back more refreshed. And actually what I have found is your mind starts like looking for efficiencies, right? You're like, okay, I'm out Thursday, Friday. Okay, what do I need to get done? Right? It is a complete mind shift that really starts playing out to avoid burnout. This is really important. Our industry is hard. It really is. I say what I said earlier. You're dealing with high lead flow. You're dealing with clients that are typically frustrated, down, don't have the patience. You got to shift the mindset a little bit to focus on you're serving these clients. I love the idea. Never, I would have thought you would have said more time off. I wouldn't have said thought that, Aaron.
Well, I figured it out early, and I'm fortunate that I'm able to do it. But when I'm planning, we've got hearings that we're passing to right now. We have court Thursday, and we did everything we needed to by Friday. But uh, I had to remind one of my paralegals that do not set anything for that January 22nd or 26th
Mhm,
date, because that's when we're in, Tampa. Hopefully you'll be there
mhm.
for the ACBC meeting, the mastermind meeting. Um, but that's important, and there's huge content. But you know what? It's 4 days off.
Yeah,
Guess what? It's January, and it's going to be in Florida.
yeah,
Hello. So
yeah.
there's that.
You're not complaining. Okay. Anything else to avoid burnout? Anything else come to mind?
Okay, one more thing.
Sure.
This is just really cinema verite, stream of consciousness. Value your spousal relationship
Mm,
more than you value your law practice. My wife's a lawyer, and early on, it drove her crazy that I didn't want her to be my law partner.
mm,
And she just didn't understand. Why can't I practice with you? I said, it's a lot cheaper to get another law partner than it is to get another wife.
mhm.
Would she put up with me for 38 years? So,
Yeah.
but that's the most important relationship. That's your biggest investment.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky, second stream of income. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
without her, and you know her well as well, I won the lottery. So what can I say?
Yeah.
But that relationship will help you avoid burnout if you nurture it properly.
The covenant of marriage.
What?
The covenant of marriage.
Right. Yes, it's a contract.
Yeah. You're winning there, Aaron. Aaron Epstein, I appreciate your time and this information on how to avoid burnout for 45 years in the debtor bar. Thank you, Eron.
Thank you, Philip.